So how did you find out कि maybe इसको autism है?
You get to see the telltale signs from 1.5 to 2. वो गिल्ट भी था कि कुछ नहीं है तो तुम कर दोगी सोच के ये वो the confusion and the mental fog. Most of the family members and the extended family members decide to close the topic.
The father is not feeling as responsible.
They say, I will bring in the money. You do what is needed. Every kid on the autism spectrum improved. Every kid. The point is, या तो हम क्रिब मार सकते हैं, ये नहीं है, या फिर जो है उसके लिए खुश हो लो. With autism, you have to be very, very flexible. Never give up on your kid. Never.
I'm very excited and very honored to have a very special guest in the studio today. Rajani Singh had a child with autism more than 2 decades ago. She was worried, scared about how will she deal with this child. She grew in that journey, brought up a really good boy, and managed a great family, and today is a special educator for kids with autism and has more than 15,000 children across the country that she's teaching. So let's understand from Rajani how she managed this journey, what the learnings are, and what many other parents out there who have kids with autism can learn from her. Thank you so much, Rajani, for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me here.
So, I mean, as you can understand, my first question is, how did you do this? Firstly, when did you realize that your child has autism? And what was your reaction at that stage? And how did you manage this whole journey?
Yeah, so like, when we were kids and we used to do the joke, how do you put the elephant in the fridge? One step at a time. So this is a journey one step at a time. And he was born in 2003. I got married in 2000. He was born in 2003. And he was diagnosed, I think, end of 2005 or beginning of 2006.
So when he was 2-3 years old?
Yes, very early.
And where were you based?
I was in Delhi at that time. Yeah, so he was 2 years and 10 months when he was...
So how did you find out कि maybe इसको autism है? ये कैसे पता लगा? And if you can share his name.
Yeah, my son's name is Autistic Singh.
Okay.
Which means the rising and glorious sun.
Wow.
Yes. And I feel happy to say he's true to his name. And thank God for sending him to my life. So Jay was born in 2003, and then around 1.5 years, we used to jokingly say, oh, he's some saint or some Mahatma Ji, keeps looking here and there. वो देखता नहीं है,
क्वाइट था क्या?
हाँ, और अपने में बिजी रहता था, और टॉयज को लाइन अप कर देना, और गद्दियों को, कुशन्स को ऐसे गोल घुमाते रहना, कोई भी बॉटल लेके उसको प्रेस कर देना तो वो लिक्विड उसमें से शैम्पू हो या कोई क्रीम लोशन वो ऐसे 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 निकल रहा, उसको वो देखते रहना, किसी चीज़ को गोल गोल घुमाते रहना, और वो बात नहीं करता था. Until 2 years, we kind of, you get to see the telltale signs from 1.5 to 2. Every parent does.
Okay.
Every parent does. We are just too scared to accept that there's something.
Were you scared?
So, yes.
Okay.
I'm just as much a parent.
Right.
Very scared.
And
At 2
so
years,
what are those telltale signs?
yeah, so he's looking through you. It's like if I'm talking to you, I'm not looking at you. I'm just seeing and I'm just staring through you. And if we would call him, he will not respond. Like he cannot hear. So got his ears tested. They were all fine. And then he would just play very atypically with toys and not want to play with children.
Okay.
And he was absolutely mute. Other children will start talking something. He's not understanding that you don't, pass urine in clothes until 2 years of age, which was surprising because children do learn. And so I was suspicious that something seems to be not
कुछ तो गलत है. Okay.
Although वो guilt भी था कि कुछ नहीं है तो तुम कर दोगी सोच के ये वो the confusion and the mental fog.
And this is your first child.
First child.
So you no experience of being a parent.
Absolutely.
पहला बच्चा, you want that child to be perfect and.
But एक चीज़ शुरू से मेरे में जो ये रही है, and it's been there, and I thank God for it, that I can see a problem in the face and I will not run away.
Okay.
So I started having sleepless nights 2 साल 2 महीने 2 साल 4 महीने भाई क्या हो रहा है ये क्यों हो रहा है एंड उसी टाइम पे 2 साल 4 महीने का था तो इसको एक बच्चे ने स्कूल में नोच लिया
Oh.
another kid preschool children. So I went with a complaint to the teacher and she said, what are you complaining? Your kid is not speaking. You have not even taken an action. That was the last nail in the coffin that, oh my God. And she said, you're telling us, okay, it's a mistake, we will take care, but what have you done? Are you a good mother? That statement shook me. I said, now I'm not sitting back. I need to find out why is he not talking. Enough of waiting. Month after month. So at 2 years and 10 months, I got the report that my son had autism. Initial phase was extremely difficult. As happens in the Indian society, it's nothing new. Most of the family members and the extended family members decide to close the topic and go in an absolute state of denial saying, there's nothing.
Achha.
Nothing is wrong. This happens as I've seen over 17 years of being in this and working on it. That most
So in your family also a lot of people.
Same.
What about you and your husband?
My husband, it was hard for him to accept. I was in denial for a pretty long time, almost 5-6 months. I hated it when somebody said autism. My father retired from the armed forces. He retired in 2009 as an army general. But he was the one who said, no, there is a problem. And autism, he would say before, because he was reading. And he retired from a senior post. So he was traveling sometimes to Germany, sometimes to, his last assignment was in Sena Bhavan. And he picked up on his way from an airport a book which he sent me. He said, read this. 99% things are same as Jay. As I read it, now I wanted to burn the book. But it gave me the understanding that, well, something is not in place. And then when I went for his, after that, this thing happened, he was pinched and scratched and all. And then I went for the assessment and it was clear. After that, no, can't be, yes it is, can't be. And then I would back and forth keep going back to the book and then keep reading. And slowly it took me about 5-6 months. But I knew something had to be done about it. Enough of crying. Fine, the crying phase is over. Now get up. All of that, why God had to do this to me. Da, 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 da.
But after the medical diagnosis, you still for 4, 5, 6 months
Yes.
were in denial कि कुछ नहीं है, सब ठीक हो
सब
जाएगा.
झूठ है.
Why should I believe in this?
ये लोग पैसा बना रहे हैं. ये हमें पागल कर रहे हैं.
मेरा बच्चा तो ठीक है.
Anybody talking about autism, बात मत करो. But बीच में I would go back to the book and I would read and what it said was what he was doing. And I was like, well, how?
And that was the case for both you and your husband. Both the parents were in sort of denial.
Me, mostly.
Mostly for you.
For him, it was very clear कि नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है. नहीं है.
Okay.
और है तो ठीक हो जाएगा 6 महीने में.
So thanks to your dad,
yes,
the retired general who came and said कि boss.
No, that's not how it works. That's how nothing works. He's very particular about being proactive. After that, when I had swallowed the bitter pill, कि ठीक है अब जो है अब करना है. So the next stage came of hiding from people.
Oh.
Yeah. तो किसी को बताना नहीं है कि इसको कुछ है, चुपचाप धीरे धीरे काम करते रहो. And when I say this, I want people to know that it is okay to feel that ways. You don't have to feel guilty today that because people come to me and say कि हमने इतने साल waste कर दिया. क्योंकि these are human emotions, ये होता है. I'm not a superwoman कि भाई कल diagnosis मिला और आज मैं तैयार हूँ जी काम करने के लिए. ऐसे नहीं होता. But the catch here is you can't give it the next half a decade of your life. That's dangerous. Cry if you have to, 1 month, 2 months, 5 months, then get up and then don't look back. Because time is ticking and the child is developing a lag. Lag in the skills will take away your child's ability to cope up and be independent in life.
Okay.
So when I realized that, after that started, I joined the school as first I joined as a clerk and then I studied I mean, I was overqualified for being a clerk, but that didn't matter. I joined because I wanted to be close to him, to see if they're doing
So
justice.
you joined the school where he was going.
Where he was going.
Okay.
And as luck would have, a twist of events, a teacher resigned. And they, for some reason, I would say destiny, they could not find another teacher, another replacement. By that time, I was technically qualified because I was studying also and learning also. And I was too scared, but I jumped into it. And I said, please give me that class. That was a very difficult class way back 2008. And every ounce of, every muscle of my body was into trying to manage the disruptive behaviors and get the children in place. It took me 6 to 8 months, but I could get a handle over that class, and that gave me a lot of confidence that if this can be handled, then Jay can be handled. He's not that bad. When I say bad, it's not from any perspective. It's from the situation had gotten bad to worse because parents had not taken timely action. And my kid was young. So the phase thereafter, I would say the next half a decade, was full of hard work, extreme hard work. I've done hard work anyway all my life and even now. But that phase was forget everything, be at it and gain as much knowledge. So my classroom was also my sort of a workshop, because where I'm teaching them what I'm teaching them, I'm taking that learning back to my kid. And then I'm teaching him and I'm taking that learning back to them, back and forth. And I saw that every kid on the autism spectrum improved. Every kid.
So was your class a class of autistic kids?
Yes.
Oh, they were all autistic kids?
They were all autistic, 7 or 8 of them. So the schooling system is such that we have an all-inclusive school where you have regular and one kid who's autistic. But that opportunity not every kid gets, because if they're not ready and prepared, and they will disrupt the whole class, so they can't be put into that class. So they are taught separately. Then there's an integrated setup where they say, okay, for co-curriculars, we will take the kid with the regular class, but otherwise, we'll teach him separately. And then there is a completely special needs classroom where it is the child will be taught separately only. So this school was an integrated school. They would take my child for certain activities with the rest of the class and bring back. He improved a lot in that school. I was working with him and his teachers were working with him. This was a very good setup. This was step-by-step school way back 2008-9. So he was doing very well there. But over a period of 3 years, I realized now was a time for an upgrade. He had to go to a mainstream classroom. The logic that was given to me was he's not ready. And the logic I gave was, if you don't give him an opportunity, he never will get ready. That is a big point that I see when parents say, no, I cannot push my child to regular mainstream activities, they're not ready. But it's like, I can't do this job, I don't have experience. But if you don't give me the job, then how do I get the experience?
Right.
So the vicious cycle. So somebody has to break it. I said, I will learn. I will implement. Give me an opportunity. I tried a lot with a lot of schools. Of course, step by step, I was very, very convinced it can't be done. Not that they were bad people or something, no, but then that is how they felt. Because I was taking a chance.
Sure.
And schools probably may not want to take a chance, but now I would urge everybody to take a chance on a kid. So we shifted to Jaipur, my husband got transferred. And the next school, Savai Mansingh Vidyalaya, took a chance on him.
Wow.
So I joined there, established a team. They were, favoring the inclusivity movement.
Sure.
And my son got a chance from 2nd, 3rd and 4th, 3 grades. And while it was very difficult in the beginning, but he learned how to cope up and be in a mainstream classroom. And I think if I would not have taken that choice, it would not have happened.
But most schools are not willing to take that chance.
No, they're not. They're not. I had
Any
to
reason?
struggle with the child will not be able to cope up and we cannot ruin the entire class.
Okay.
We are answerable to other parents. This is where now if I see my work comes in, because I see a major gap in the society that they're trained teachers and they're parents who have no clue. They're clueless. And we have no university board or system that teaches parents to do what is required to be done so that the school can be helped. There's a major gap there. And as surprising as it was to me when I read, we have a 3% special educator in the country. For 100 children, you have three teachers. And those are not only autistic, they are visual impairment, hearing impairment, cerebral palsy.
All kinds.
All kinds, which means for autistic, it is not even 3%, whereas autism requires one-on-one. So I always dreamt of creating a world where every child had one teacher, irrespective of whether they're living in a village or a city, wherever, they're on an island, deserted. The only way possible to do that was if the mother is the child's first special educator, because every child, God will give one mother.
Why not the father?
That's a tricky one, because fathers don't come forward to take responsibility. They say, I will bring in the money. You do what is needed. I would blame genetics also for it. Over a period of time, the caveman would go out, and the lady would take care of the kids. So it is kind of wired in us that the lady is supposed to, although I have some fathers on our program, on our systems, where the lady has, there are cases, the lady's decided to abandon the family, divorce has happened, the father is single-handedly taking care. Amazing, kudos to those parents. There are other parents where now that awareness is coming in and they are beginning to contribute beyond the money also. My very humble thing to fathers is earn as much as you can for the kid. Noble thought. But if the kid is not capable of handling that money, you are at the end of the day going to need a caretaker whose focus would not be the kid, it would be the money. Imagine what you created, a living hell for the kid for a time when you are not around.
But I think I agree with your point, and it's perhaps genetics and caveman and all that, but also social conditioning.
Absolutely.
See, society says man will earn, woman will bring up the kids, and woman is the mother and caretaker and all that. Right or wrong is in the society, but the outcome is that the father is not feeling as responsible. He's saying, as long as I bring money on the table, I've done my job, you do your job.
So here I want to just add something from the recent times between where we were to where we are now. I mean, there's a story there, but I did a series of offline events in January.
Okay.
That was the craziest step that I would have ever thought of taking, but I took it. It was 4 events in one month. 4 events in 1 month in 4 cities. And that was, most of my work is online, but that was offline. So we booked halls, we invited mothers. And what I did was that I said, your ticket, you pay. Obviously, because I'm making all the arrangement, how am I going to make? Your husband's ticket is me. Get him. And some ladies only came because their husband would get 2 days of active intervention and understand the fact that without their jumping into the game, this is not going very far.
Right.
The lady needs support. Some people said, can we get our in-laws? So we adjusted wherever we could because the costs for those programs are high.
Sure.
And wherever we could not, we said, okay, so buy one more ticket.
Sure.
But that was a game changer. How? I mean, in terms of business also, it gave us a lot of, and thank God for that. But in terms of bringing that, so to say, revolution in those people who attended the 4 programs, so it was 4 cities, 4 weeks. Every week I was traveling to one city and I was doing that program. And fathers turned around to quite an extent. And I feel we really need to do this. We need to work with the men folk because it becomes easy for the lady.
Yeah. Well, to some extent, so men are supposed to earn and bring money to the table, but today women are also earning.
Yeah.
So I think society has also changed.
Yes.
And we also need to start believing differently. So because women also bring money to the table, so why is it that men are responsible for money and women responsible for motherhood? I guess they're responsible for parenthood.
Absolutely.
And both parents need to be involved.
Yes.
And I'm assuming if the father is also involved, it will help.
Massively. It doesn't double, it sort of compounds because the morale of the lady goes so high, that component of, the happiness, that I'm not alone in this, that there's somebody backing me. Now today when I sit here, my family is in Mumbai, and there is somebody taking care of all 3 children. Yeah,
Right,
2
right.
human and 1 animal. I got 3 kids. Yeah, elder one Jay, 21 years old, on the autism spectrum. The younger one, 11 years old, regular neurotypical, who always has this problem. Mommy doesn't talk about me. She only says mother to Jay. Yeah, and the dog, 4-year-old. So the father is back home taking care, and I have the confidence that I can move out because there's somebody there.
Right, right.
But someone has to stand up and show it, lead by example.
So tell me, today you said 15,000-ish plus
Yeah.
students who all have autism
Yeah, so this is
Right.
across the world.
across the world.
Yeah.
What percentage, approximately, what percentage of these 15,000 are cases where the fathers are as involved or more involved than the mother? Approximate.
Not even 1%.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So that is one big issue that we have.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is a major part of my work, that please, and trust yourself. The one thing that comes up is, how can I do it? I don't know all this. You do it.
Got
You
it.
want money? I give.
Got it.
You want to do program? I give. Don't tell me to do it.
Got
Don't tell me to get into a conversation. I don't know how to do it.
Got it.
And the Indian way of doing it is they're like minefields, because they've been raised like that by their dads. So 2 questions, and the 3rd question, the blood pressure is going up. The 4th question, and a whack will come, and that's the end of the conversation.
Got it.
Because that's how they've been raised by their fathers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a tough thing, but yeah, now slowly as I see the number is changing. Now when I say students, my students are not children. My students are the mothers.
Oh.
Yeah. I am teaching a mother. So I did a 5-finger model, for which I was given an award by DNA newspaper in 2019 in association with Fellowship of Physically Handicapped. That's an organization in Mumbai. So they gave me an award for what work I was doing. That's the 5-finger model that says eliminate behaviors, replace them with spoken language. So the child has to be taught how to do that. And in my programs, I teach them step-by-step method of doing it. Then using that, you invest that knowledge of the child of talking in social skills. How to develop friendships, how to not be clingy, how to not be looking very, like our children will do, time up, bye, and they'll leave. But that doesn't go well in the society. So it was nice meeting you. So we teach all of that also, that initiation of conversation, exiting a conversation, maintaining a conversation. So you take up all that information, you invest it in social. Then you get them to be independent in life skills. Like I was just mentioning that Jed today has got an offer letter from JW Marriott AeroCity. We live in Mumbai, Navi Mumbai. And as much as I'm excited, but I'm also a little jittery that, he's going to have to handle it. But he's shown me success. He's handled mainstream classrooms. He's handled school. He's handled college. Why not this? And he's handled it with support. And I'm ready to support him whichever way. It's just a 2-hour, 10-minute flight away.
Right. Right. So let's go back to Jay's journey
Right.
for a short while. I mean, he's clearly become good, and he's managed his journey. He's now getting job offers and all that. How did his schooling go? How did college go? Where did he go and study? How did he manage all that?
Right. So many a times I've seen and I've heard parents say, oh, thank God, I've got my child admitted to nursery, and now till 12th I'm comfortable. We'll go through. No such luck. No such luck with autism. You're going to have to meander your way from time to time and figure out, oh, this doesn't work for my kid, drop it. Oh, this doesn't work, let me take another approach. With autism, you have to be very, very flexible. So it went on well till grade 4, 5, 6,
He was in
7.
regular school, regular education.
Regular school. Because when I put my foot down that no more separate setup, because he needs to learn, And it didn't happen that, oh, you sent him to school and he's learned, he's come back. No. There was a massive amount of hard work that went in. I remember one time he went on picnic. He came back with one shoe.
One shoe.
One shoe. So he didn't have that awareness in grade 4 that pack both your shoes. A spare pair that he had taken, one of them was under the bed and one was visible. So the one that was visible, he put it in the bag and he packed it. He was in grade 4. And the one which was not visible, it didn't strike him that there's got to be a pair of this. That was a new shoe. He chose it. He was happy. He came back home with one shoe. So it's like these small things, they happen throughout when you have to teach them small things. Listen, you have to pack both of them. You can't leave one of them there. This is wasted. We have to throw it. Such like things, small things.
So he was in step by step?
Yeah.
Till what grade?
Step by step, he was in grade 2.
In Delhi?
Noida.
In Noida. Step by step Noida till grade 2.
Then my husband got transferred.
Then you moved to Jaipur.
To
that school.
Yeah. So he was with Savai Mansingh Vidyalaya.
There he did 3rd, 4th.
No, I repeated a grade 2. That's another point. A lot of parents say, why should we repeat? You know, the age is increasing. Because if your child has to handle something as massive as a change, that from a group of 5 people where one maid is on one kid to a group of 40 and there's no maid and there's one teacher and she's just going to shout out one command, take out your notebook, and they have to learn to cope up and take it out and do the right page, then you can't expect them also to be doing academic stuff. So I was okay. I thought, PMT के लिए भी तो बच्चे ड्रॉप करते हैं ना, 2-2 साल ड्रॉप करते हैं.
बिल्कुल.
तो क्या हो गया, 1 साल पीछे रह जाएगा. तो आई पुट हिम इन ग्रेड 2 क्योंकि उसको उसका सिलेबस आता है.
ओके, सो जयपुर में स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम ग्रेड 2.
तो ग्रेड 2 से स्टार्ट किया. 2, 3, 4 आधा ही किया था उसने. एंड बिकॉज गुरप्रीत शिफ्टेड माई हस्बैंड, तो वो 4 का आधा उसने कुंस कैप्स कोलान गुड़गांव में जो स्वीडिश स्कूल है, वहां से स्टार्ट किया. वहां पे दे यूज्ड टू टेक हिम ऑन अ लॉट ऑफ एक्सकर्शंस. तो वो बड़े पॉजिटिव चीज़ थी क्योंकि एडीएल स्किल्स आ रहे थे, लाइफ स्किल्स आ रहे थे. तो मैं उसके बैग में पेस्ट करती थी पेपर और टेप के साथ. शूज, सॉक्स, टी शर्ट ये रखा. तो ही हैड टू टिक इट when he is coming back from excursion because वो एक जूता छोड़ के आया था. तो that taught me कि ऐसे सिखाओ. एंड एकेडमिक्स में घर पे सपोर्ट दे रही थी बिकॉज हर स्कूल किसी एक चीज़ में अच्छा होगा.
श्योर.
तो कुंस कैप्स कोलान wasn't so much focusing on his academics but his outdoor skills and I was happy with it.
Great.
उसको असेंबली में खड़ा करो. See the point is, या तो हम क्रिब मार सकते हैं, ये नहीं है, ये नहीं है, ये, या फिर जो है उसके लिए खुश हो लो. अब अगर एकेडमिक्स में उतना सारा नहीं है तो एटलीस्ट ये तो है कि वो उसे असेंबली में टाइम जगह दे रहे, उसे एक्सकर्शन पे ले जा रहे. दैट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. तो वहाँ से फिर आई टुक ओवर कि ओके आप ये करो. आई स्पोक टू द स्कूल एज अ टीम और मैं एकेडमिक्स करती हूँ, डोंट वरी आई विल टेक केयर. सो 7th तक अच्छा चला. देन गुरप्रीत शिफ्टेड टू मुंबई. ही जॉइंड रिलायंस जियो and it was too good an offer and he said I can't leave. So he shifted. Jio उस time पे एकदम inception time पे था. It was too good an offer for him to leave. While I said कि everything is settled, so he said कि नहीं, we must make that shift. He left in 2015. I was with the kids till 2017 in Delhi.
Okay.
During that time, my younger one had a very severe asthma attack. ये पंजाब में पराली जलाते हैं.
Right.
तो उससे जो तो his lungs were beginning to get compromised. That got too much for me. I said that's about it. चलो.
So you all moved to Mumbai.
Yeah, मैंने जो मेरा इंटरवेंशन सेंटर था, जो भी था, सब बंद किया कि फिर कर लेंगे. बच्चों के साथ तो नहीं ऐसा हो सकता. मुंबई में the study culture is very different.
Okay.
तो ये जहाँ ग्रेड 8 में गया, मुंबई में he did grade 8. CBSE था, कट थ्रोट कॉम्पिटिशन, वेरी वेरी. सो ही वॉज सेटल्ड. उसको क्लास में बैठना आता है, उसको टीचर की सुनना आता है, पर उसको क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग, रीजनिंग, एनालिटिकल, लॉजिकल स्किल्स नहीं है. क्योंकि दिल्ली में उसको व्हाट इज दिस करके छोटा छोटा करके बताया गया था. यहाँ सडनली इट वाज लाइक जंपिंग इनटू एन ओशन. अभी क्या करें? उसको 1 नंबर आता था 80 में से, 1, 1.5, 5, एंड द अमाउंट ऑफ स्टडीज वी यूज्ड टू डू 8 आवर्स, 10 आवर्स. जिंदगी में पढ़ाई के सिवा कुछ बचा ही नहीं.
My God.
एंड डिप्रेस होने लगा वो भी, मैं भी. आई डिडंट जॉइन अ जॉब कि अभी क्या क्या करेंगे.
And he was in 8th at that time.
He was in 8th. That time somebody told me about the NIOS curriculum, National Institute of Open Schooling, कि ये अंडर प्रिविलेज बच्चों के लिए था, बिलो पॉवर्टी लाइन के लिए. फिर धीरे धीरे ऑटिस्टिक भी इसमें आ गए. आई वेंट एंड आई रिसर्च्ड अ लिटिल बिट एंड आई सेड ये तो बहुत ही अच्छा करिकुलम है, इसमें तो मेरे को बहुत इसको सिखाने को भी मिलेगा और इसका गैप इतना नहीं है कि ये ना कर पाए. देन आई चेक द वैलिडिटी. कॉलेजेस को NIOS का स्टूडेंट लेना मैंडेटरी है,
Right.
गवर्नमेंट की पॉलिसी है. तो मैंने कहा तो इसको कॉलेज में भी मौका मिलेगा, तो व्हाई नॉट टू डू दिस. बस ईगो का पॉइंट है. मेरे को मैसिव वहाँ पर व्हाट इज़ द राइट वर्ड, ऑपोजिशन फेस हुआ फैमिली से कि CBSE में पढ़ रहा, मतलब NIOS में डाल देंगे हम. व्हाट इज़ दिस. नहीं 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 नहीं, इसको डांटो, इसको सिखाओ, इसको ये करो. अरे नहीं होगा डांटने से. वो रट के गया है शाहजहां की डेट ऑफ बर्थ, डेट ऑफ डेथ. वो पूछते हैं व्हाट वाज द इंटेंट ऑफ ब्रिटिश व्हेन दे केम टू इंडिया. बोलते हैं कि इसमें 25 लाइंस का आंसर लिखो, कैसे करेगा. क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग, एप्लीकेशन बेस्ड स्किल्स मांग रहे हैं. उस पर तो हमने काम ही नहीं किया. मुझे पता नहीं कि उस पर भी काम करना है. I as a educator have grown with him, with the areas that were lacking in him. I said, oh my God, ये भी सिखाना था, ये नहीं पता मुझे. So then I pulled him out कि इतना सारा मैं एक साथ नहीं कर सकती. Rather than he failing every class and school saying इसको ले जाओ, it's better to now, like I said, meander करना पड़ेगा.
Shifted him to NIOS.
Shifted him to NIOS, opposition or no opposition.
In 8th or 9th.
Now, here is where you get the divine support. He was 1 year behind because उसने second repeat की थी. NIOS में age के हिसाब से चलते हैं. He was good to go for 10th.
Okay.
तो 8th उसने एग्जाम भी नहीं दिए थे.
ठीक है.
क्योंकि उसका कोई पॉइंट ही नहीं था.
Right.
NIOS के सेटअप ने बोला, वाशी में स्कूल है, फादर एग्नल स्कूल, बहुत अमेजिंग स्कूल है, पूरा उनका पूरा सेटअप है. दे सेड हम बिना एंट्रेंस एग्जाम के नहीं लेंगे ये लड़का, क्योंकि कितना आता होगा तभी लेंगे.
Right.
To my surprise and to everybody's surprise, Jay topped the entrance exam
Wow.
when he was getting a 1.5 in CBSE.
So NIOS perhaps is one great thing here that
Yes.
kids with autism can think about.
They can think of. And what I would want parents to know that ऐसा मत करो. It's not about your ego. NIOS क्यों करे मेरा बच्चा? क्योंकि उसकी ज़रूरत है.
Right.
और आपको टाइम देगा. वो 8 से 10 घंटे कर रहा था, लैंग्वेज डेवलपमेंट को टाइम नहीं बच रहा था, अब वो 2 घंटा पढ़ाई कर रहा है. और यू हैव ऑल द टाइम इन द वर्ल्ड टू से जा ड्राई क्लीनर के पास, उसको पूरा एक्सप्लेन कर, आपने यहाँ पर ये ठीक से ठीक नहीं किया है, फिर से करके दो. दैट्स डेवलपिंग द स्किल. देन आई हैड टाइम टू पुल हिम आउट एंड पुट हिम ऑन टू अ बस कि जाओ पूछो 18 नंबर जाएगी कि कौन सी जाएगी, पूछो टिकट कहाँ मिलेगी, डू द मनी डीलिंग. एंड आई एम इन अ कार बिहाइंड हिम बिकॉज आई डोंट वांट टू लूज माई चाइल्ड. कहीं और उतर गया तो क्या होता है.
Right.
तो taught him how to do the bus, taught him how to do the train. One time he fell into a manhole because, and this is how I have grown with him. He's a hefty, bulky boy. He's not fat, but he's good for his
Sure.
physique. And he's walking and he didn't realize कि ये इतना गोल सा दिख रहा है, ये rusted भी हो सकता है. And he stepped on it and he went down.
Oh my God.
And there were people around, of course, they saved him. And it was not monsoon season, so thankfully he was safe. Monsoon होता तो पता नहीं wash out ही हो जाता.
Right.
So we've had such kind of, then I incorporated those trainings also. बेटा नीचे देखो, इधर यहाँ नहीं करना है, बस को एनालाइज करो, इतना इधर आ रही है, ये हिट कर सकती है, स्पीड से चलो, इधर चलो. So the small things, if you only rely on a outside therapy center, they don't even know that they have to teach all that.
Right.
And that's a major part of my work when I work on the 5-finger model. I train mothers on how to correct behaviors, how to develop life skills, because आज अगर life skills है तब मैं सोच सकती हूँ कि he will come to Delhi and he will do a job.
Right.
नहीं तो कैसे होता है.
Right.
So then वहाँ से NIOS उसने किया.
So schooling happened in NIOS after that.
After that, he got us 72.8% marks
Wow.
from a 1 and 2.
From 1% to 72%.
Yes.
Okay.
That was the jump. And his confidence increased because he had time for himself. He had time to go to the swimming pool and stuff. From there, same Father Agnell school saw his potential and they called me and said, would you want him to shift to state board?
Okay.
We can give him a seat.
Okay.
I would have no problem continuing NIOS, but NIOS in grade 12 did not have regular classes. They had
Okay.
contact program. So go 2 days, go 3 days, like that, or some hours. I didn't want that. I wanted a structure for him. It was too early for him to be not in a structure, although he had been into the system for a long time, but still he needed help.
Right.
So I jumped at that. So then he did state board. In 12th, he did a 75.8% marks. And by 11th, it was my endeavor कि मैं नहीं पढ़ाऊंगी, ना तो मुझे आता है और ना मैं effort मारूंगी. I gave him a tutor to do accounts because वो तो मुझे बिल्कुल ही नहीं आता. And I did not teach him. And 12th, with the tutor he did. Then the race started for college. Again the same zero से start करो.
Right.
So many colleges saying no, 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 no. I guess as a mother of a kid on the spectrum, आपको no की आदत हो जाती है.
Right.
फिर आपको बुरा नहीं लगता. हाँ जी ये no, अच्छा कोई बात नहीं. हाँ जी ये no, कोई बात नहीं. But you have to continue. You can't give up. Eventually, we found the college, ITM, IHM Nerul. They accepted him.
Okay.
3 years of hotel management training. And the best part, after his training was over, I thought the world will welcome him with open arms. Yeah? कि इतना कर लिया लड़के ने, let's give him a chance. And to my surprise, we got closed doors. किसी को भी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं लेना है, किसी को भी बर्डन नहीं लेना है. उनको जॉब के लिए कैंडिडेट चाहिए.
Right.
तो उनको टेस्ट भी नहीं करना है इसको आता है कि नहीं आता है. तो जैसे ही वो बात करने में, बिकॉज न्यूरोडाइवर्स थोड़ा डिफरेंट लगते हैं, आप वो चेंज नहीं कर सकते. लॉट ऑफ पीपल टेल मी ऐसा कुछ कर दो कि ये पता ही ना चले. ऐसा नहीं होता. आपको 2 मिनट लगेगा बात करने में टू अंडरस्टैंड कमियां. मतलब कमी इज अ रॉन्ग वर्ड, कि ये थोड़ा डिफरेंट है. दे डिफरेंटली वायर्ड. अब जैसे आप उससे बात करेंगे तो आप पूछेंगे सो जय आपको ये क्या लगा, या फिर आप बोलेंगे जब आपको ये चीज़ अच्छी लगी तो बोलेगा येस आई लाइक इट. तो वो थोड़ा सा वो दैट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ हिज ब्रेन.
Yeah.
सो somebody telling us कि oh he is very बदतमीज, उसे बात करने का पता नहीं है, हम नहीं लेंगे. Somebody telling, so there's a massive lack of awareness until, and वो point आता है लाइफ में where I felt कि नहीं कोई point ही नहीं है. यहाँ तक आके क्या पाया हमने. अब जहाँ नौकरी मिली थी कोई दे नहीं रहा. But you can't stop. You can't stop. You have to yet another stone, lift yet another stone. And like I said, today is a lucky day. आज सुबह he got an offer from JW Marriott.
Congratulations.
Yes. So it is
So JW Marriott in Aerocity.
Aerocity. It's the
NCR.
biggest one here. And it's like a whole world in itself. And I also understand कि उसको यहाँ पर भी challenges तो आएंगे. But it's a journey.
Right.
और जैसे अभी तक कर लिया हमने, आगे भी कर लेंगे.
Right.
The only thing I want to say to parents is never give up on your kid. Never. Because if you give up on the kid doesn't know whom to turn to. If you had 19 failures, hang in there, maybe the 20th one may not be a failure.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing story. And I'm hoping that all parents who've heard you today, who have a kid with autism, will start believing in their kid
Yes.
and will not give up on their kid.
Yes.
Right? And we have a live example of somebody who's done it. And not just for your own kid, but now you're doing it for 15,000
Yes, please.
out there,
Yes.
across the world.
Across the world.
Wow.
Yes.
Outstanding. So thank you so much, Rajani, for coming and doing this with us.
Thank you.
I'm absolutely amazed at what you've achieved. As a mother who's almost become an expert in this space and brought up a child who's building a great career, I'm sure he'll do really well in Marriott. And
Thank you so much.
I'm sure not just him, but a lot of other children, because of watching this, because of getting trained from you, their mothers, their lives will change.
Yes, and it is happening. We get hundreds of success stories every day, and they post it on the groups.
Wow. Wow.
Actually, Corona was a major, I cannot call it a blessing, but it was a major turning point for us because we didn't know Zoom. We didn't know we could go beyond the local people. But Corona taught us you can teach through the system if you have a proper structured system using technology and reach out to people. We have students in Zambia.
Wow. Wow.
So the mothers are getting trained.
So it can all happen online.
It can all happen
Your
online.
training is all online, so people from anywhere in the world can join.
Yes.
Okay.
And there has to be
What is the fee for it, if I can ask? Is there a fee?
Yeah, so you
for
can
people
join
watching?
the program with 199 INR.
Okay.
It starts with that, where it's a 2.5-hour program where I teach them the 5-finger model, which I told you, and how to develop the child holistically in all areas.
And then you work with them over a longer period.
Over a longer period.
Maybe there is more fee, but there are more
Yes,
sessions, more
yes,
learning.
yes.
Okay.
Because not everyone will resonate.
Is it like a monthly thing? Is it?
So then we have an annual
How often
program.
are the sessions?
Yeah, so then we have an annual program. It's placed for 25,000 rupees, but we give it to people who come on the platform for less than 10,000 rupees
Okay.
as a first step towards enrolling for it. For 7,999, we offer it to them that okay, start working with the kid.
Sure.
That's where my team comes into play, and then we help them develop specific goals. We break down the situation. Somebody says, I want my kid to speak. Okay, that's a desire, not a goal. Let's look at what is he doing right now, and then let's see what should be done in the next 1 month. So then, okay, my child speaks in 2 words, pani do. So in 1 month, your child will be speaking in 3 to 4 words. So we start like that, and then we start training them, not only language, but academics and everything. What we have seen over the past 2 years is that children have gone back to school, those who were sent out of school.
Wow.
And they've started making friends, and they've started connecting.
Amazing.
And I've written 24 books on autism. These are workbooks. So how do you teach math, English? And that's not for parents, that's for children. These are color-coded materials. These are things with technical knowledge of building the mental image, the way I brought up my Jay. So parents have a lot more support than what I had. But my humble point is, if I could do it with my about average intelligence and none of the support, I see no reason why you cannot do it when you have all the resources.
Amazing. So how can people reach you? Is there a website? Is there a...
Yes, yes, yes.
What is it called?
So, see, the program is called Sashakt, the organization is called Sashakt Empowering Lives. The URL to the website, we'll put it in the description. And the URL to the landing page and to the webinars also, that I will put. And we have a YouTube channel, one in English, one in Hindi. I do Instagram lives every Tuesday. Those are free of cost. Okay. I do webinars which happen Friday. Those are at 199.
Okay.
So that's the way the parents can, all the links.
So it would be great if we can get the links.
Absolutely.
That we can share.
I'll share the links, and they can start. There's only one thing that I want from a parent. Start taking accountability. It's very, very easy to say, listen, you didn't do for my kid, you didn't do for my kid, you didn't do. My question is, go to the mirror and then try saying the same thing.
Right.
Yeah, because that's the game changer. And that's when you say, okay, so if this one didn't do what this one had to do, let's start.
Great. Thank you so much, Rajani. It was an amazing conversation to have with you.
Thank you.
And insightful, huge learning for me as a person.
Thank you.
And I'm sure for a lot of parents who watch this. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.